Hi, it's Mrs. Soukup, and I'm going to tell you about meteor showers and what causes meteor showers and how to observe them. Many people call meteor showers shooting stars or falling stars, and that is a misnomer, and we're going to correct that today. These pinpoints of light that streak across the night sky are tiny bits of rock from space. They enter our atmosphere at speeds of 158,000 miles per hour, and they glow because of friction with air molecules heating them up to incandescence. Most are smaller than a grain of rice, really tiny, and they burn up for a second or two at altitudes of 80 kilometers high in the ionosphere. Shower meteors come from the dust released by comets as they travel through our solar system. That dust spreads out along the comet's orbit and forms an elliptical trail of debris that passes around the sun and crosses the orbits of some of the planets. Meteor showers occur when the Earth passes through this trail of debris during its yearly orbit. The following year, Earth passes through that same debris trail again on that same date. That's why meteor showers are predictable annual events. At its peak, a good meteor shower might produce 100 meteors per hour. Occasionally, a meteor storm takes place where dust is entering our atmosphere at a rate of 1,000 particles per hour. So comets are responsible for producing meteor showers. Remember that comets are small bodies composed of mostly ice with small bits of sand and gravel. A typical comet's center is a few miles across, and it spends most of its time in its orbit out past the orbit of Jupiter, and it's cold out there. So its nucleus for most of its orbit is inactive. But during a comet's passage towards the sun, as it moves in closer than the orbit of Jupiter, its surface starts to heat up, and some of the ice evaporates, and dust is released. Each comet has two tails, one composed of dust and the other of gas. Both tails stretch away from the nucleus and point away from the sun. And that's because the very hot particles coming from the sun, known as the solar wind, are what is pushing the tails outward. And this happens regardless of whether the comet's going towards the sun or away from the sun. The tail is always away from the sun, being blown that way by the solar wind. Most meteor showers come from comets, but there are a few that appear to come from asteroids. These types of asteroids may actually be comets that have passed through the inner solar system so many times that their ice has completely evaporated, just leaving behind a loose assemblage of dust particles held together by gravity. These rubble pile looking asteroids may actually be the remains of these former comets. Okay, this year we'll be observing many meteor showers, and I'll alert you to them as their date comes by, as the Earth starts to approach the dust trail of the comets. Sporadic meteors originate from random bits of dust in our solar system orbiting the sun, and their chance encounters with Earth are unpredictable. As far as we know, all of the meteors that reach the ground, meteorites, come from sporadics.